Hello, welcome to iansstudio. In a recent live stream, myself and fellow photographer Rick Bradbury did a photo critique of a portrait by photographer Tommy Reynolds. Shall we have a look at Tommy's?
Yes, let's have a look at Tommy's. So it's a portrait. I thought it might be a portrait. I don't know if Tommy's in the chat or not. I can't see. My eyes are terrible. The laptop's all the way over there.
Yeah, the laptop's on the other side of the room. And what he's sent us a before and after on this.
Oh, good man. Okay.
So if I go with the first one on there, and now because we've got the studio lights on it, this is really difficult to see the detail on it.
Quite a dark image. Again, I'm having to stand
it's a dark image. And it's a cracking shot.
It is, yes.
I'm just going to pull up the original, the unedited version. That's the unedited version. Can you see it, Rick?
Got you. Yes.
Yeah. Where the edited version, the final versions are a much tighter crop on the image.
Yeah.
Tommy, I really like the fuller crop on this one. Because I like the length of the beard in it, and for me, just losing that little bit at the bottom of the beard, I think, has taken a little bit away from it. But that's a nitpick. It's just a nitpick.
It is. I mean, from what I know of Tommy's work, he does quite a lot of work on his images in terms of the colour toning and grading, for want of a better word, as well. So you'll see an image come in from camera. Whatever the white balance setting was, say flash and what have you, and then he'll move that in a bit of a different direction with the colour toning as well. And I know he's a big fan of his cinematic lighting. He often talks about shooting to get a painterly look in his images as well, and he's been using, which I think that this is a optical snoot shot with modifier. Look at it.
Well, I mean, I was trying to work out the lighting. I did my old trick of zooming right in on the eyes when the thing, and we can see we've got. If we look over on here, we've got what looks like either a small beauty dish or
that's a
ring flash.
Ring flash.
Can't tell.
More than likely. Knowing Tommy, it's probably a ring flash, because he does like to use the ring flash just to push in a bit of fill.
Yeah, that's
in the images. I could be wrong with this one, so do let us know, Tommy. But
then there's also some other light coming in from the side. But what I like is this sort of channel of light coming across. And I'm glad you mentioned about the painter type look. It reminded me of sort of not Rembrandt lighting, but Rembrandt's paintings and his sort of style of paintings when I saw it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And actually, if we go back to the original or the final on there, the other thing I can tell from this is that Tommy has done the sharpening afterwards as well. It's an image that's been sharpened, because if you really zoom in, you can see when it gets there, it's very sharp on there. I'm almost reluctant to say this because I from what Rick has been telling me about your work, Tommy, I know you're sort of top of the game things, but I just wonder whether the beard just slightly over sharpened, very slightly.
Let me just have it. I'm sorry I have to stand up, folks, and move. It's just for the angle of the screen. That's all it is.
It just looks just a tad to me.
No, it depends. I mean, if we have a look at the eyes, let's see, because they appear just as sharp. I think what happens is when you've got such a mass of hair and a beard, mine's nothing like that, but anyway, the texture of fine hairs they do tend to look sharper than a lot of things.
Possibly.
If you've got someone who's clean shaven, then you tend to see sharpness of other points of contrast, whether they be blemishes on the face or whether they be contrast changes going to the eye, the eyelashes, the eyebrows, and so forth, or the colour of the eye. Usually a huge contrast range there, white of the eye versus the pupil, or the iris of the eye, whatever colour it may be. So it tends to draw with that and look sharper. Also, in terms of images and sharpening, you can go anywhere you want and how you do it in post. Light plays a huge part, and contrast in the image overall plays a huge part. If it's very, very flat lit, which a fellow like this with this kind of look wouldn't shoot open and flat lighting, wouldn't make any sense. It looks softer, even though the image isn't. You know, shot with the same camera, the same lenses, the same f-stop, because the contrast isn't there naturally in the light. You get contrast into an image and it looks sharper.
Yeah, I mean, my comments about the sharpening on the beard, the reason I mentioned it is what I found when I first looked at the image was the sharpness of the beard was actually drawing my eye away from his eye. For me, I found I was looking at the beard more than I was looking at his eyes, and with any form of portrait, I think my first contact should be with the eyes rather than the beard.
But it's all about the beard.
I know it's all about the beard. Yeah, we differ slightly on this, but I like, what I would like to see is my eye go to his eyes and then be drawn down to the beard. What I found as I looked at it, my eyes went to the beard and moved up to the eye.
All right,
was how I viewed it. And I was trying to work out whether that was because the beard was as sharp as it was. I don't know. I mean, what we're saying, all these things, Tommy, they're just nitpicks and it's just opinions.
Oh, you can take it, don't worry.
Oh, good, right.
Yeah, I mean, generally speaking, in terms of where your eye's drawn in an image, we always say, and you'll hear this from photo school and classes, it's drawn to the brightest part. I mean, ultimately, it's contrast that draws your eye as well. Whether you've got a bright white scene of someone, say, on a white sofa, wearing a white outfit, and then there's a dark chest of drawers on the wall next to them. Boom, huge contrast change right there, and that's where your eye's going to go to. And flip that the other way, it's the same thing. So I think as long as, for me, if you've got light on the face, light in the eyes, I tend to go there first personally. I understand where you're coming from. I tend to go there personally when looking at a portrait, and I do really like this dramatic lighting style. And this, by the way, I say optical snoot, which, Tommy, if you watch this, mate, do let us know in the comments below, please, mate. I know he uses that a lot. He loves that modifier. You can get kind of close to this with just using bits of card and making a gobo, you know, to fire the light through. So you could shape something yourself, absolutely, as well, and experiment with this with just a simple speed light. Right. Okay. I think we've covered everything on that. To say thank you very much, Gary and Tommy, for submitting images. If anybody would like us, or like me, the next one will be me without Rick, to talk about your images, do get in contact, and I'll cover those. And next time I do one of these live streams. Right, just looking at the chat messages that have come in. Tommy was watching and has given us a bit of information about that image. It was an optical snoot, well spotted. And his ring light. There we go.
And it was a ring flash, and the reason for the crop. Instagram.
Crop for Instagram. Yes. Well, to be fair on that, thanks for the information there, Tommy. Instagram drives me nuts because it's basically the aspect ratio is like a 4:5. So it's more akin to something like medium format really than 3:2, which is your typical ratio of your sensor, APS-C full frame, unless you're shooting micro four thirds and you're 4:3. So why Instagram in 2020 can't we just post normal portraits that way up, please? Absolutely. Anyway,
that really annoys me. It actually puts me off posting to Instagram advertise. So I haven't posted for a while. Thanks for watching. Please make sure you subscribe so you don't miss future videos. Up here is a playlist of other videos similar to this one. Here is a video I think you will like, whereas over here is one that YouTube thinks you'll like. Until next time, keep making great photos. Bye for now.